Hey Taurus, what's going on? We are here with a timeless reading. Welcome. The first card that we have out is Nine of Swords. When we have Nine of Swords, it is a chance for us to let something go. That something being the fear and the anxiety. There can be some feelings of anticipation here of what's next, of what's to come, of what is unfolding, what is rolling out. So close, guys. It always comes on so suddenly. Alright, we have Wheel of Fortune and we have Ten of Pentacles, so I'd say that there's really nothing to be concerned about, nothing to be worried about. This looks like a very good change that's coming. One that you feel very secure within, and one where you feel supported within as well. Okay, I am seeing the focus on a single relationship that you have. This feels almost like anxieties and fears that end up rolling out into a thriving relationship, actually. The Lover's card in this deck feels very robust to me, and having that Nine of Swords above feels like the anxieties that we feel around something that really are just like a projection of our fears, but not so much a reflection of the actual situation, because the actual situation is looking great to me. There can even be, Taurus, somebody that you are getting into more of a commitment with, actually, because the Lovers are going into Four of Wands, and so just reading this intuitively, this feels like somebody that you may be tying it down with. This can be somebody that you're taking the next steps with, things becoming more serious. This would definitely be a change. You would see this as being connected with expansion. With changes, there can be that feeling of anticipation and some anxieties that are associated with what's happening, what's going to be unfolding, but it feels like it turns into something very dynamic here. And so there can be something now being established between you and this person where you're kind of flying together here and going into the same situation. I see Four of Wands as being like, you can be moving in with somebody, or you can be defining the relationship, or you can be taking the next steps in some way, or there can be something really important that you're doing with this person. For some of you, there can even be an anniversary or something that you're celebrating. It's going to be that feeling of things feeling secure, stable, settled, and even though it almost looks like, I don't know what you were anticipating or what you were thinking was going to happen, but I'm seeing things really come together in a very beautiful way. So I don't know what that was where you were like, I don't know what this is going to turn into or what's going to happen, but I'm seeing it turns into the Four of Wands. And Four of Wands is things feeling good, things feeling happy, stable. There's a sense of harmony and goodwill. And then also having the Ten of Pentacles too feels very secure, which maybe there was a concern that things wouldn't be, but it very much feels like best case scenario here. And best case scenario actually be the scenario that's unfolding. And maybe this is going to allow you to develop a different type of relationship with your anxieties and with your thoughts. Okay, I am seeing Hanged Man. This relationship may have been delayed, or these next steps, whatever's happening with you and this person, may have been delayed. Some things maybe needed to fall into place first. You can also be, when it comes to maybe what you have given value and priority in the past or thought was most important, something about that can be shifting for you, where you can be realizing maybe some other things are important to you now. Maybe making some room for that. With the change, it seems like there's some adapting emotionally that's going to be happening. This feels like different things that are going to be oscillating a bit, and you can feel some mixed emotions. But I feel like this is tied in more with the possible concerns of what's unfolding more than anything. Like, maybe you know you're going in a certain direction, but there's some stuff that hasn't fully been realized. Whatever this mood is that you've been in, I'm seeing you coming out of it. It feels like there's a breakdown of how you're feeling like you're coming out of that. Seeing before, you maybe hadn't been feeling super enthusiastic about things, but then moving past that, and it does feel like opening yourself back up now, ready to take the steps. There can be some slow adjustments that are being made too. I feel like there's still some stuff that's being worked out. There's still some stuff that's being figured out, fleshed out. I see a good forecast, so a wanted forecast, something that feels like not going to be difficult. Okay, so when we have Nine of Swords, what is the fear about? Starting off with Nine of Swords, we can see what it is looking at. It happens to be looking at the Two of Cups, and so I would say that this can be a fear of like getting closer with someone. This can be a fear of intimacy, like not realizing that like you find your best friend there, not realizing that you find the connection that you've been looking for this whole time, maybe didn't know that you wanted. Because of this thing that's happening, I feel like before you could have said, this is what matters most to me and this is what's most valuable to me. Now I feel like a relationship is becoming something really important to you, Taurus. So having that be happening, I feel like there's a different way that you're seeing things slowly but surely. And for some of you too, I think that the reason why you may be thinking the way that you've been thinking and why maybe you haven't fully let this in the way that you want to, or why things have been sort of somewhat delayed at times, it feels like it's because you're working through a situation that I think that it's a separate situation than this. This feels like something different, but there may be a past situation that you're still working through, where you're still analyzing it and still reflecting on it and still reviewing it, that you may not have fully processed, and that could have been something that instilled this sense of fear within you, of closeness with another person, letting somebody in, connecting with another person, crossing paths with another person in a more deliberate way, intimacy, things of that nature. So it feels even like a fear of maybe a one-on-one dynamic, something like that. And this comes from some prior experience, some past experience that you had where you were left having a hard time reconciling whatever that was, which could have deterred you. So you can still feel that sometimes too. Maybe there's a little bit of anxiety when it comes to relationships. Maybe it's something that you still feel triggering, but I feel like you have a person here that you guys are, for some of you, you're tying the knot with this person. For others of you, it's just taking the next steps or making it more official. As I said before, some of you can be moving in. It's just going to be something where the next step of the relationship is being taken, or it's becoming an official relationship, and that it's time for this to be happening now. It feels like everything is sort of supporting this universally. Things are falling into place for this to be more structured, more set in stone now. And the thing is that it's like what there is like all of this anxiety about, I feel like it's getting underneath and seeing it's not about having a relationship. It's not about the stability. It's not about feeling secure. It's about feeling like, what if I allow myself to want those things, or we say that this is what's supposed to happen between us, and then I'm left feeling hurt, or I'm left feeling disappointed, or it doesn't live up to my expectations, like something has happened in the past. That has happened in the past for me. So it's not a fear of relationships. It's not a fear of intimacy. I think it's a fear of like having that and then losing that more than anything, of like the change. But I'm seeing the change be even more of what you want. I'm seeing the change be more of a sense of connection. I'm seeing the change be closeness. I'm seeing the change be feeling understood. Because this doesn't feel like just a romantic relationship that you have with somebody, or a partnership that you have with somebody. This looks like also a friendship. It looks like there's also intimacy there. This looks like something that's reflective of the relationship that you have with yourself. And there can be a needing to really let go of the wheel here, because of there can be a part of you that's been maybe moving against the flow of this, the natural flow of this, and now can be a time where you surrender. Now can be a time where you're like, okay, this is happening, it's feeling right, I'm gonna let it happen, rather than all of this resistance that solely comes from a place of fear. It's not coming from a place of like you knowing better, it's coming from a place of being scared of what could happen, especially, and letting this go. Understanding it, integrating it, because I'm seeing things are about to be, this is going to be, I'm not saying that it's not already, but it may be even more so a highly, highly, highly valued relationship. It can feel like a very important piece of the structure of your life that is now moving into place. And the change that's occurring is just going to bring you closer with yourself and also closer with this person. And I'm seeing things are really going to fit. I feel like there's a great social concept connection. It feels like there can be a solid day-to-day, this is really working, and there's also that emotionality that's there as well. And I think a good type of discussion that you look forward to, feeling seen and allowing that. While you're still working through your other stuff, because there is still some other stuff. But I don't feel like you have that much more of it that you're working through. I feel like this is just, you still get in your head because of the experiences that you've had that have put a bad taste in your mouth, and working through this by, I think, like psychologically working with yourself to evaluate and say, is this really fear-based? Is this becoming irrational now? And working with yourself in that way, and just getting closer to what you want and really allowing love in here. I feel like you're even going to be like somewhat surprised, because on the other side of the Hangman is the Two of Cups. So I feel like something that you don't realize how well it fits, maybe until you're sort of allowing this to happen, and then you see that it really does. And I think the sadness over the past stuff and all those feelings attached to it can be something that doesn't allow you to fully see this, and you will be if you allow it. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.